think for all the wrestling fans, they'll know what that means. That's a special mention to the legend Ric Flair, aka Hugo Bros.
Yeah, that's our special mention.
Our special mention for the man that has brought a lot of good things to the South African national team. Football, a lot of joy, a lot of hope, pride, and expectation is another thing.
Exactly.
I think. Yeah, no. We thought that now we wanted to have a nice discussion talking about the games that have just passed during the international break. What we thought, our thoughts, what we analyzed, and everything else. So
this is the section of in the 18 era where we have discussions. We'll talk about the disky.
Get it?
South African football.
Get it? Discussion. Get it? Alright, you'll get it. It's okay. But yeah. Yeah, I think we can just jump into it. Basically.
Yeah, let's just jump into it, man. Bafana Bafana mixed performances. I don't know. We're happy with the results, but the performances not so much. And let's start with the Uganda game, bro. It was really, really shaky.
Very shaky. I'd say playing at home as well. You would think, because obviously, again, we're playing against a team that is relatively low in the picking order with regards to the ranking, but we don't know how these teams play, so
exactly.
I always take every single team that we play, especially the teams that we don't know. I always take it with a grain of salt, just to say we're not really sure what to expect. But I think we also did make things a little bit harder for ourselves at certain points.
True. Hey, very much. Very much. Now we're with you, brother. We're with you. You're one of us. But you nearly cost us the game. And it would have been a steep hill to climb when we went to Sudan. But to touch on the Uganda game specifically, the performances here are police. Oswin police, bro.
Yeah.
Like that guy, he's owning that left wing spot right now.
He's making it his own.
He's making it
in the national team.
His own. Also, like to touch on Mshishi. Mshishi. Shikabala. Obviously, he's one of those guys who we know we can count on in the squad, and he controlled the game in the first half, but in the second half it showed his age kind of.
Yeah, I'd say he kind of what can I say, lost steam a little bit.
Yeah.
And I'd say again, I'd say even the second half, I don't know. I think our performances kind of like we didn't really we didn't have the same intensity as in the first half. So I think we kind of suffered from that. And again, the game got away from us.
Yeah.
They ended up getting a lead.
Yeah. Two very quick goals in quick succession, and you're thinking, Bafana, not again, guys. Again. Nah, bro. But this time we're gaining that class gene.
We're scoring late goals at important times. Again, I would have preferred the win, but I'd say we take the result as we can. But again, special mention to the goal scorer of that late goal. Orlando
Pirates midfielder, talent Mbatha. He's stepping up right now, and he's giving Hugo Bros some food for thought.
Yeah, exactly.
Because since now Pepele Sitole got injured in the game against Sudan, so he's forcing his way into the lineup, I guess, right now.
And he's giving him a lot to think about. So I'm also just wondering that, hey man, if he continues like this, because we're gonna touch on the next game against Sudan, but otherwise I'd say Uganda. I'd say a good performance. I'd say again
our attackers.
From our attackers, I like the fact that we're scoring goals. We're scoring goals, and I think that's good. But again, defensive frailties kind of let us down. And we could have gotten the win here, but I'm glad we didn't lose.
Yeah.
So I don't know if there's anything else you want to touch on.
No, we took a point to South Sudan, and in South Sudan again, also in Police, bro, coming in with two goals.
Before we get to the Sudan game, special mention to Lyle Foster again.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, returning to the national team fold, getting a goal. And we know his difficulties with his mental health over the past 12 months. So shout out to him. Good to see him back, because I know that him snubbing Bafana during the AFCON got a lot of people talking.
Yeah, people said, Vele, we as Bafana fans have retired him from the national team, but it seems like Coach Hugo has other ideas and he sees his value in the team.
So shout out to him, and glad to see him playing football with a smile on his face. So I think now we can head into this South Sudan game.
Bro, like you mentioned, defensive frailties, and in this game they were also evident, because what was Ngezana doing for the penalty?
Yeah. You see, as a Chiefs fan, as you can see, I'm looking at that game saying, yeah, that's Tengezan I know, not the one that's been playing overseas, playing in the Europa. Nah, that's Tengezan I know, because again, he's becoming a weakness in that team, and I think the next international break, I wouldn't be surprised if he's dropped.
Yeah.
But yeah, no,
I think it's time we get Krankekan and Vala back.
I think so as well, because genuinely it really wasn't an unnecessary challenge to concede the penalty, and again, just to the point, and also just to mention Veli getting dropped
for Sipo Chain.
I wasn't really surprised by that.
No surprise. Everyone knew.
Yeah, everyone knew. The team was relatively the same except for that goalkeeper change. So yeah, I don't know. It's going to be very tough to see Veli getting back into the setup after the howler from the Uganda game.
Our centre backs haven't been performing, but our full backs, Aubrey Mudiba and Kulisa Mudau, they've been immaculate for us.
In both games, actually. Yeah, in both games they were quite immaculate again. Shout out to Sundowns for carrying the country, as they like to say.
It's a shared effort now. I see Orlando Pirates are starting to chip in now with their players. But I think this is a good thing. It makes making the league more competitive, and I think our players are relishing the fact that going to Bafana now, it's a sense of national pride again.
Yeah.
It always should have been, but it was lost for a moment. But carrying on to the team's Pepele got injured in this game.
Yeah, unfortunately. And it seems like he's going to be out for an extended period of time.
12 weeks, they say.
That's a long time.
That's a long time.
So, but again, just to touch on the midfield and the person who scored the last minute winner again, the same person.
Relatively same position and relatively same spot.
Literally. And again, I like the fact, as you said, that we are gaining a clutch team.
Yeah.
We are finding it in ourselves to just get those goals and say, let's get those goals. Let's leave you with a result. And I'm glad that this was a result.
And people might think, it's South Sudan, it's Uganda, but come on, brother, you need these results show that the team is resilient, that the team is heading into the right direction. They won't take a loss or a draw. The only thing that we want is a win.
Yeah, and I think again, just to take from AFCON, we have a lot of character.
Yeah.
And as you said, resilience in terms of we know how to score goals. That's the part that I'm happy. If I can take away anything, just the fact that we are scoring goals.
Yeah.
And I like that. So, but yeah, otherwise talent, but he shout out to him, bro. Like, he's really making himself not undroppable, because he came off the bench for both games, but he's really making Hugo Broos think a lot about what's happening.
I think notable performers has to be Talent Mbatha, Osuna Polis, of course.
Again,
he's keeping more focusing on the bench.
Of course, yeah. Actually, two goals from him in this game.
Yeah.
And 2 great goals, and just like he just looks threatening. He's got confidence. You can tell that he's really in a good place, especially with the national team. And if he continues with this form, wearing the Bafana shirt, it's a good thing for Bafana Bafana.
It raises the question: where does this put Upesitao in the lineup? Because he got dropped for both of these games. He wasn't in the squad at all.
Actually, that's very interesting, because I wanted to touch on the fact that again, Tembazwan Msisi had a much better game against South Sudan.
Yeah,
and also just the fact that Gary Tembazwan has become that Percy Tau of our team.
Yeah, he's becoming the talisman.
The person that we look at in terms of, if he performs well, then everyone else around him performs well. And the fact that Percy Tau wasn't even called up this time around, and as far as I know, he wasn't injured. Hugo Broos just opted not to bring him.
Because there's other better wingers. Abu Mukwana has been performing.
Yeah.
Also, the exclusion of Tshirofaso Mabasa, the top scorer of the Premiership last season.
That was a weird one.
That was a weird one. The whole country still complaining about this guy still banging in the goals. How is he still not in the lineup? And Bruce says we have enough strikers at the moment, but I would love to see the addition of Tshirofaso Mabasa to our lineup.
I think so as well, especially as like the top goal scorer in the league last season.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'd say in terms of a team that is not too shy in terms of goals, I think adding more firepower, it doesn't hurt.
No, it doesn't hurt.
And
not at all.
Not at all. So I think, but I don't know. I think just to summarize everything in a nice neat little bow, what would you say you've learned from these 2 games and just the international break with regards to Bafana Bafana?
Obviously, we touched on the resilience that the team is gaining.
Yep.
Scoring more goals. This is 5 games and 2 goals. I think it's more than we scored in the whole AFCON. Oh, we scored 4. I'd say in the knockout stages.
Okay.
More than we scored in the whole knockout stages.
Yeah.
Which is positive. There's more firepower coming with Abo Pesitao actually scored 2 goals against Goma here in their Al Ahly's first leg, second. The CAF system is kind of tough. Second preliminary round there, he scored 2 goals after getting snubbed, which shows that he's really not taking it lightly. The fact that he wasn't in the Bafana lineup. All in all, I'd say great performances by our attackers. We need to sort out our defense. And from your side,
I think just to reaffirm what you were saying again, we are scoring goals and we are putting ourselves in the right positions. But I think again, if we can shore up that defense, we make things much harder for ourselves than what we need to. I think both games could have been much more comfortable than what they were, and I think hopefully Hugo Bros can also see that and possibly make some tweaks and changes in the next international break. But I'd say again, just looking at it, I'm hopeful. I'm very optimistic. I think in terms of qualifications for AFCON and the World Cup 2026, it's looking quite good. But still early days. It's still quite far. We still have a lot of games to play, but so far so good. I'm happy. And man, shout out to Bafana Bafana.
Just a recap on the standings. We're in Group K for the AFCON qualifiers. Uganda is currently up top just by goal difference. 4 goals, 4 goals for them, 2 goals conceded. 4 points, 1 draw, 1 win, and we are in second place, still in the automatic qualification spots, but we would want that higher seed for a good group placement in the actual tournament. We also on 4 points, 5 goals scored, 4 conceded, and staying on continental football, but this time club. We're moving on to CAF Champions League.
CAF, yes, and I think we can move over to the South African champions. Melody.
The first leg of the second preliminary round against Mbabane Swallows, our neighboring club. Funny enough, they played their home game at the Lucas Moripe Stadium.
Interesting.
They don't have a stadium that is CAF, that meets the CAF regulations. So they could have picked any stadium. Why didn't they go for Mbombela? Because that's closer to home, Swati people right there. But they chose the home stadium of the team.
Of the team that they're playing against. So that was a bit of a
shady business from CAF. But anyways,
who's the president of CAF again?
No.
Who's the president of CAF?
Petrus Mtsipe.
Thank you. And,
former CEO.
Thank you.
That's
all I want to say.
Sundowns.
Okay, now let's get into the game.
Get into the football. Sundowns players actually scored for the first time since last season.
Okay.
Because our only goal this season, I'm a Sundowns fan, that's what I'm gonna say. Our only goal this season came from an own goal in the MTN 8 against Polokwane City. Our last goal came from Umshishi Tempaswane last season in the Nedbank Cup final loss. So it was quite refreshing to seeing the goals go back in the net again. Lucas Ribeiro getting himself a brace in this game. Iskram Reyners scoring on his debut. All in all, even the commentators were saying that, bro, the score sheet is gonna get spread out because they were expecting a drubbing, and that's exactly what happened.
I think it really was one-sided throughout. I don't think Swallows had much. They didn't really threaten Sundowns at any point during the game.
Not really.
So I think I'd say it was a professional win. You expected to win the game. You won the game. And you did your job, and second leg, I'm sure it'll be.
It's at home again.
More of the same. Exactly. More of the same.
So we're expecting more of the same. But shout out to Ronald Williams, Yashin Trophy nominee, top
massive.
10
that's
goalkeepers in the world, and he was back for this game, captaining Mamelodi Sundowns. But other than that, professional win from Sundowns, like you said.
No, credit to them.
Yeah, second place team from the Premiership last season, Orlando Pirates, also playing I'd say a solid game against the team that gave them a lot of problems last season in the CAF Champions League. This was the team that knocked them out in the same stage, but they did well this time around to get the away win.
Especially getting an away win, which puts them in a great position, especially now for the second round when they play at home. I'd say all in all a good performance from Pirates. I'd say it took them a while to get going, but once they did, great goals scored. But otherwise, Yeah, I'd say just a good performance, another professional win. I'd say they were expected to win and beat them, and they did exactly that.
And coach Jose Riviero did touch on the fact that they had to learn from their mistakes last season. There was kind of they underestimated the challenge of playing continental football.
Yeah.
You would think that Botswana, their league is not at our level.
Yeah.
It's in some sense no disrespect to them, but these teams in Africa actually take continental football serious, and he had to put that in mind for this game. Hence, he fielded a strong lineup, even though we had the international Bafana Bafana internationals, Abu Mufukeng, playing in the AFCON qualifiers. They were in this game and they played full 90. Shout out to Dion Hoto, Evergreen, and Joe Fatamawata for getting the goals for Orlando Pirates.
I was angry. I was angry for not getting that call up. So he had a point to prove.
Yeah.
And again, now continuing his great form from last season. And good win for Pirates. And hopefully the South African representation can continue on. Yeah.
And looking at the other teams that are representing us in the other competition, CAF Confederations Cup.
Yeah.
Stellenbosch versus AS Vita. Great result for them, 2-0 at home. They get to take a lead back home, but AS Vita are gonna face the second leg without their coach. Talking about unprofessionalism from the club.
Yeah, that was a weird one. I wasn't expecting that one. I'm just because when you told me about it, I was just like, wait, so their coach just quit? Like literally press conference, like
Another great win for Steve Barkers, man. Seems like they're gonna make their way into the group stages, and the other teams, Kukune United, are finding it hard. Finding it hard. Difficult. Continental football, their first season, by the way.
Very first season playing European football, not European, African continental football.
Yeah,
and no shame.
They lost 1-0 to Sidi Lundasu from Angola. But it was a away match, so let's see what they bring home.
Yeah, hopefully they can probably get a better result.
Yeah.
But otherwise, out of the four representatives, shout out to the 3 teams that managed to get the W.
Yeah.
I think we can move over to the Betway Premiership. That the new rebranded PSL. Another rebrand. This is like the 3rd rebrand in like 5 years.
Yeah,
probably. So
from ABSA to DSTV.
From ABSA, DSTV, now Betway. So I don't know what's next. Adidas, Sprite. I don't know, but otherwise, just to start the league, I think there's no place to start. I'm just gonna fix my shirt a little bit. There's no other place to start than with the team that is currently top of the table, Kaizer Chiefs. Kaizer Chiefs getting a very impressive win in the first game of the season against Marumo Galantes. Yeah. And to be fair, Marumo they played well in the first half. They did play. They did great. They even scored. Yeah. It was against the run of play, but again they took the chance.
It wasn't really against the run of play. It seemed like Coach Nabi's system hadn't really been instilled yet. I feel like maybe that goal was the wake up call.
I think again because we had most of the ball. That's why I was saying we were controlling possession for most of the game. Yeah, we were going at them, but again they got the ball and they passed the ball very well. Yeah, and they got the goal deflection. But otherwise, I'd say from that moment, it was all Chiefs. Genuinely, I'd say it was not only the result that I was impressed with, but just the performance and how we played throughout the game. It genuinely was just like every time, boom, boom, boom. We're gonna go at them. And I don't know how many. The scoreline of 2-1 kind of flatters Marumo because it really could have been much more. Could have been. Could have been what I thought you were saying.
I was saying. Yeah.
So I'd say otherwise, but I need to just give special shout outs to the players. I'd say again Bradley Kroos, one of the new signings, who got man of the match in the game, had a really good solid performance. I can say great clearances, great blocks, just otherwise very calm, measured performance from him. But again for me, my man of the match, his old player, because again this
reject.
You see what do you see? This thing of you saying that to be fair, Sundowns players that have came to Chiefs, it's iffy. You know, we've had Castro, we've had Billiard, we've had Dolly.
Those guys have actually chipped in.
They chipped in, but I mean, in the long run, it didn't really amount to much of anything. So you know,
do you think the Sereno signing, especially with his age, will he change that?
I think what I can say from this performance, he looked sharp, he looked fit, he looked determined, and I think this is someone you can tell who was playing on the bench for majority of last season. He knew that his position at Sundowns was all but done and his time was basically over.
Yeah.
And I think now he's got a new invigorated edge to him, and I'd say at 33, you know, he's not got a lot of time left. You know, this is probably his last big contract.
Yeah.
And he really just, everything that he was doing just looked like he was measured, had intentional forward passes, just everything just looked really good. But of course we have to give special mentions to the goal scorers. What's this? Ushabalala
and
scored,
Vilagazi.
and Vilagazi. Two youngsters that chipped in. So again, Naretenya creating some great superstars, and I'm really glad. But otherwise, it was a good performance. I can see a lot of the Kaizer Chiefs fans are getting very excited.
We're used to that as a country now.
And we're used to that. True. But I think again, the excitement is not only coming from the result, but from the performance as well. I think this is going on more than 10 years of mediocrity, and I think probably they saw, you know, something needs to change.
Yeah.
And I'm just glad that we probably got to see a nice performance from them. But otherwise, good performance. Top of the league, Kaizer Chiefs. So I'm happy about that. And otherwise, we can move on to the other games.
Now we can just wrap up with the fact that we need Royal AM, please. Whatever situation, everything that's happening there, we don't need that. The chairman was playing. No disrespect to the chairman, but the chairman was playing 5 passes in 51 minutes.
Wow.
5 passes in 51 minutes.
And he's like he's playing like he's like number 10 basically.
Please, whatever's happening there, please PSL, they need to sort that
honestly,
out.
it is quite embarrassing just to see, like, you know, that kind of stuff. You don't want to see it like
in a professional league,
and especially now. But this rebranding, I would imagine PSL probably just thought that we need to improve the level of South African football, and I think, but again, Andile Mpisane playing in professional football and, you know, in his own team now, is just I think it's pretty embarrassing. But
Betway have invested 900 billion not to see this type of stuff. We want to see, he's hindering a young kid in Durban from probably fulfilling his potential, fulfilling his dream of playing in the PSL.
900 billion, really?
Yeah, no, 900 million, man.
I was like, yo.
Yeah, my mistake. 900 million rands. Yeah.
Okay, fair enough. But okay.
But other than that, Royal AM versus Cape Town City 1-1. We already touched on Maruma Gallants versus Kaizer Chiefs 2-1. Polokwane City versus Amazulu. Interesting. Policies was on the bench amid interest from Kaizer Chiefs.
Seems like that move might be impending. We don't know yet, because I think the coach, when asked about why he was on the bench, he said, you know, he's coming from national duty. But I think we probably could read between the lines.
We know
that, you know, probably he might.
Chiefs just need to sort out the transfer fee with Polokwane City, and they'll take it from there. And
it should be a huge get, by the way, for him.
Richards Bay versus TS Galaxy. They won 1-0. And the other fixtures that are going to happen midweek that haven't played, Sundowns versus SuperSport Union. A Tshwane derby on a Tuesday.
Hey man, because you need to tell when the big teams play on the Saturday, you know, you need to like.
Nah, but I get it, because the big teams are playing during the week. They're playing continental football, so the game in hand is gonna play.
This is gonna be a thing. This is gonna be a thing. Okay, so
Orlando Pirates are gonna play Cheaper on Wednesday. Stellenbosch are gonna play Golden Arrows, and Sekhukhune United versus newly promoted Magesi. Really looking forward to those fixtures. We'll touch on them in the next episode of the discussions. Stay in the 18 area. Kalagash.